Hello, it's me, Galen, talking to you about having Parkinson's disease. Oh, you say that's nice, or you might go, oh no, but I'm guessing, I'm hoping, you saw the title and you tuned in to see sense. This is common sense, all right, not opinion. This is me being helpful, I hope. So, you have to pardon my sniffing if you suffer from Parkinson's, or you are ever in the future going to suffer from Parkinson's. You might discover that this is a sign or a symptom of something that develops, which I'm not going to mention today because it didn't happen to me at the beginning. It's happening to me now. It's exciting, isn't it? What the Chinese say, may we always live in interesting times. That's very true. So number one, I'm led to believe, and certainly for me, was a tremor, not a trembling, a tremor. I felt a tremor in my right hand long before there was a trembling, which is what I've got now. That was different. It was a tremor, and it was obviously a tremor. It wasn't. It was odd. It didn't hurt. It wasn't unpleasant, but it was odd, and it made me think, oh no. Because my dad and my grandma had Parkinson's, one of the things, if you go to the doctors and you're looking to see if you've got Parkinson's, they'll ask you about your family history, because that's important. And there isn't a specific test for Parkinson's. You don't turn up at the doctors or at the hospital and they do an x-ray or a blood test and say, oh, you've got Parkinson's. It's all about their observation of these signs and symptoms. So it's hard sometimes to get a definitive answer because it's so difficult to know. So don't get cross if you go for and you expect to come out with somebody saying, yes, Parkinson's, have a sticker. Might not happen. The second one, I don't know if it really happens to me or ever happened to me, and it's loss of smell. Now, specifically, people I've worked with Parkinson's say to me, it's often things like bananas or licorice or onions or vinegar gravy. I'm going to put gravy all over. No, vinegar. That sort of tangy smell. See, when I read Parkinson's gives you a loss of smell, I thought it meant you don't smell, so I stopped washing. I didn't. That's my funny joke. I'll tell a lot of funny jokes. Number 3, stiff muscles, muscle stiffness. Yeah. I didn't think I had any muscles till I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. It turns out I've got a lot because they hurt. What I've discovered, though, and what you'll discover, is once you start taking your medication, particularly for me, dopamine, which I suspect is what most of us are going to get, that eases. And if you're not getting it, ask for or ask why you're not being prescribed slow release dopamine to help you through the night. Because if not, you wake up feeling like you got rheumatism. You'll end up aching like bonkers when you wake up. So as I understand it, we lose dopamine from our little nutty head boxes. The little numbskulls in our heads have stopped working. They've gone on strike. So we bring in dopamine as a pill, a bit like a sort of scab labour. Come on, when you come. So your dopamine levels are meant to be up there, right? And then over that time, but for me it's about 3 hours, and they go like that. And after 3 hours, they're right empty. So I take a pill, and it goes, and then it goes, and every 3 hours I take a pill. Whoa, we go, and then every day it goes down. And then at night, I take slow release one, and I wake up, and I take one straight away, and then I'm on the 3 hour cycle. I've got Alexa, I'm sure you've got something similar up there, and I can ask, I've programmed her to every 3 hours, she says, take a pill, take a pill, take a pill. It drives me mad. So I have to take a pill. But she reminds me. Just a hint. Yes, so sort of arms stiff when you walk. Again, I think it's more a stillness. I think if you start, you sort of realise that you're walking, but you're not. Your arm's not moving, and you think, why is that not moving? Oi, come on, what are you doing there? I think, no wonder it's hard to walk. You're not helping. So your arm is being still when you walk. That can be a sign. For me, it's not been a big sign. General slow movement, and my Parkinson's nurse said often it's one side is worse than the other. For me, it's the right-hand side. I had to go like that then, like I was playing the piano. I don't know left from right. Retired head teacher, what a genius. So that, yeah, that's a possibility. The next one's a little bit sensitive, but it has to be mentioned. Constipation. Some of you are going to say, I would love that. Fantastic. But it's horrible if it happens. And to be honest, there's not much you can do other than go to the chemist. Tell the chemist, I've got Parkinson's, and I find a nice way of saying it. I've got, I'm bummed. Our grandma would have said, I'm all bummed up. I'm all bummed up. Get me all bummed. Now, again, the next one is equally hard to sort out because it's anxiety or depression. Well, you can be anxious and depressed about all sorts of things. It don't mean you've got Parkinson's. And similarly, a wobbly, trembly hand doesn't mean you've got Parkinson's. Loss of smell doesn't mean you've got Parkinson's. You might have a finger up each nostril. Oh no, I've got Parkinson's, I can't smell. Take your fingers out of your nose, you pudding. I've just played a game of rugby. Now my muscles are stiff. I must have Parkinson's. No, it doesn't work like that. But I think if these things are starting to add up, and I would say, especially in my case, the tremors becoming trembling, that's worth going to the doctors about. I think it's worth going to the doctors about anything that bothers you, to be honest. But if you're looking at, have I got Parkinson's? The trembling to me is the number one worry. I say worry cautiously because it's not a worry. It's just one of them things. Don't worry about it. Even if you've got it, don't worry about it. I've had it ages. Don't matter. And sort of jerky sleep. Now, usually somebody tells you about that. Usually your partner will say, hey, back it in. What have I done? You kicked me. Oh! What? Jerky sleep. And sort of unsettled sleep. Getting up in the morning and think, I'm knackered. You say, well, I'm not surprised. You ran a marathon during the night. Ooh. I tell you what, now this is an aside, a secret aside. I think there are loads of benefits to having Parkinson's, and I'll talk about that later on. And I've talked to a few people, like I've met at hospitals, who are on dopamine, and I think it must be that, coupled with Parkinson's. We have cracking dreams. I mean, proper nice dreams. The sort of dreams that you think, oh, I wish that were real life, because that's great. I've had some bellas. So, gotta weigh it all up and down. So yeah, jerky sort of spasmodic sleep can be an issue. The tremors, big one. If you've got any of those things, you've got family history, you're worried, go and find out from a doctor. don't look on the internet. Now, I know you're looking at me. I've got Parkinson's. I'm just telling you what happened to me. I'm not pretending I know what the heck I'm talking about. I've gone a few seconds over me 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop there, but I hope it helped. All right.